Guillaume Ferris, I mean, just take me through the whirlwind of the last year and a half for you, because finally some stability, but it wasn't that way for a while, right?
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. Yeah, I started about a year and a half ago. Now I just moved down to Claremont. I stayed in Tallahassee all this past year. Been in Claremont for about 3 months now, and I'm loving it. It's a really nice place. Training at the Bakers, it's really good. It's a pleasure to be out there.
How much different is it in, like, I guess, peace of mind to have a program that you're on, you know, like what your year is going to look like? Because like you said, it was a little bit up and down with Star and you weren't kind of sure if you're racing Supercross and whatnot, but now you know exactly what you're doing for like the next year.
It's great. We have a really good planning. We spend sometimes here in California, but everything is really organized, so I know where I'm going to be every time of the year, and it's great. Finally some stability, no more problems anymore. My paperwork is all done, so really happy about that.
Yeah. The Supercross learning process, what is kind of the things that you've done and the steps you've taken to make sure that, you know, you're learning it at a speed that's comfortable for you and you're not like kind of doing something too fast?
So I started a couple weeks before everyone else here in California, just trying to get used to the bike, riding Supercross for, I mean, I rode a little bit before, but not that much. So yeah, just kind of getting used to Supercross, and I don't really have any pressure. I just go day by day. I feel like I'm improving every day, so that's my main goal. Obviously having teammates like RJ, Christian, Malcolm, it's helping me a lot, and yeah, I just try to take the positives every day and keep building.
I know a lot of people talk about how difficult it is to learn whoops. What's kind of been the toughest thing for you to get used to? Is it the entry speed into it? Is it making sure you have the front wheel on each one? Like, what's the toughest part of it for you?
I feel like the toughest part, I mean, it's a lot mentally. Okay. And once they get rough, they actually get pretty hard, especially in Florida. It's been raining the last week, so the whoops have been really challenging. But I'm happy actually to have hard whoops while training, because I feel everyone's saying that they'll be close to the race. So yeah, I'd rather struggle and then be have the same at the race than not having easy sets and then struggle at the race.
Having the experience, having raced some of these guys already that you're going to be racing in Supercross, do you lay markers for yourself of who you expect to be with, like kind of right from the get-go, or are you just like focusing on yourself and you just want to make sure everything's okay for the first couple rounds? I
feel like where I'm at right now, I'm just focusing on myself. I just want to be healthy, make it to every round. Unfortunately, last year, that was my goal. Started the season okay on outdoors. I just wanted to build, and it ended up fast. I wouldn't say it was my fault, but you know, it happens on this sport. So I just want to stay healthy, go every round, and I feel like going to races is going to help me a lot. Never been at the stadium before, so there's some big changes coming soon.
What was the recovery process like for you with the injury at Thunder Valley? How long did it take before you were healed and then getting back on the bike again?
It was really hard, especially being here by myself. Had a couple really rough weeks. The Coopers helped me a lot. But yeah, I tried to do everything I could to make it to the last 2 rounds. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I wanted to make sure I was going to be healthy once I got in the bike, and I mean, my arm's good. It's never had any pain. So yeah, that was my main goal, just trying to be healthy for this season, make sure my injury was not gonna bother me. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
You talked a little bit about the excitement of like being in stadiums and racing in that atmosphere. Just, you know, I guess explain like the dream of racing Supercross and coming to America and actually getting to do it. Yeah,
growing as a kid from Europe, you always look forward to America because it's something different, something we don't have over there, and yeah, it's crazy. The first time you get on a Supercross track, you're like, wow, like this is gnarly. Like you don't even know the gears they use, how you hit the whoops, how to hit the jumps, triples, and everything. But yeah, now I'm starting to get the swing out of it, and it's nice. I'm enjoying it. So I feel like if I enjoy it and I can show my potential, it'll be good.
Training at Alden Bakers, some people say, you know, it's so tough and boot camp is really gnarly and crazy and all that. But what's been your experience with it compared to, I guess, what you've done with Star too?
It's been great. I actually love the program. We put a lot of hard work, but everyone does. We had we have our hardest weeks, then we have some easier weeks. So I just feel like I trust the guys. I trust Alden. I trust Justin Boyd, my new trainer. So yeah, I feel like we're doing good progress. I'm feeling good on the bike. We've been doing some long motos too. So yeah, it's good. Just a little different than what I was used to before, but I feel like it's positive.
Is it nice having Casey on the team as well? I know you guys say you're really good buddies already and stuff like that, but is it nice to have a fellow rookie that's kind of like going through the same things that you are, so you guys can kind of share information and bounce it off of each other a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Casey hasn't been on the bike yet, but yeah, we've been hanging out a lot. He's a really good guy. It's nice to have him. At the same time, it's also nice to have people like RJ, Christian, Malcolm, because you know, when you come here all by yourself, you have a lot of questions, like just basic stuff that they can help me out of riding out of the bike. So it's nice. Then when I hang out with Casey, I feel more like a kid, you know. So I just mix it up.
How do you try to, like, I guess, take yourself away from racing a little bit too, because you guys are always so in it. It's a hustle and a bustle kind of sport, and then you're training so much with it as well. You know, how do you get out of that sometimes to just kind of relax? And you're still young, so you kind of want to be a kid, right?
Yeah, sure. I feel like that's a really important part too. We're training a lot every week, so I make sure I have some good rest, and then days like Saturday, Sunday, I try to enjoy it, try to do something. My neighbor is actually Landon Gibson, an amateur rider. I hang out with him a bunch. He trains at Alden's too. So we try to do different stuff every weekend. We wake surf with Casey. We take the boat out. So it's nice. I really love the Claremont area. It just gives me healthy vibes. There's a lot of triathlon guys, wake surfers. So it's a nice area.
And then lastly, do you know East or West at all? And what are you kind of training for at this point in time?
We're planning East. RG is supposed to do West, and Casey and I are supposed to do East. I still have 8 more weeks, so yeah, I think we've been on boot camp for like about 5 weeks. So yeah, we passed halfway now.
I'm not kidding.
All right, Casey Cochran, you have a little bit of pro experience behind you, but this has got to feel like pro debut incoming, all the emotions that go with it to a degree. So just talk me through what it finally feels like to be like, I'm not an amateur anymore, I'm a pro.
Yeah, so I mean, we've made it. This is it. I mean, you work so hard to get here, and yeah, we're here, and it's a surreal feeling. I'm super excited to start the rookie season and dabble, and yeah, I'm ready to go.
What's it been like, I guess, in the last kind of 2 or 3 months? I know you haven't been able to ride much, but what have you been doing to kind of get ready? What kind of training have you been doing, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of off the bike stuff, road biking, gym work, because I had shoulder surgery not long ago, so I got cleared to ride yesterday.
Oh.
So first day back will be on Friday, and we're gonna go from there basically. So yeah, it's just been a lot of off the bike, a lot of road biking. I've been doing the Tour de France all over Claremont every day. So, but no, it's been good. A lot of training off the bike. So yeah, I'm ready to get back on the bike and mix it up with the guys.
So I believe the plan for you is East, right? So it gives you a little bit more time, but do you have almost like an accelerated program that you have in place then on the bike, and these are the steps we're going to take over the next few weeks to get there?
So it's an interesting situation with me. I've been explaining it to everyone because no one really knows, but everyone knows I did Futures last year as a B rider, and the way it worked was they don't give out pro points to B riders.
Oh.
So I don't have my Supercross pro points technically.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so no one knows that, and everyone's like, you're pro, you're this, but like I'm pro, but like ish, I guess, and that's why it's like an East Coast-ish season, because I have to do 2 Supercross Futures races to get my pro points at minimum. So the first one is A2, and then second's Daytona. So I have to do Futures at Daytona, and if everything goes to plan, then I'll go East Coast after that. So I kind of have more time, which I guess it kind of works out with the shoulder injury and just give me more time to ride. But everyone's like, yeah, we'll see you at Detroit. I'm like, no, you won't.
Are you bummed then a little bit that you missed Minios by like 2 weeks? You could have went and got your points there, right?
Yeah, I know. That was the original plan, was to do Minios and then A2.
Okay.
Or maybe not even A2, because you can get them all at Minios.
Yep.
So that was the original plan. Then I'd be able to do the whole season. But you know, shoulder injury kind of threw a wrench in that, so we had to go to plan B, and now this is kind of what we're working with.
So only being able to potentially do kind of a shortened East Coast season, do you have even kind of expectations you're putting on yourself, or is it just like a learn as you do kind of process at the moment?
It's every rookie season is kind of like a learn, you know, stay healthy, just a lot of take in a lot of information and work from it. But I mean, I'm always lining up on the gate to get the best result I can, and I obviously want to win. So yeah. I mean, I'm always going to go out there and give it my best, and whatever that is, then that's what I'm going to go for.
What are some of the things you took from doing the couple nationals there that you did at the end, and kind of actually getting to see the process of it, seeing some of the guys you're going to be racing? What are the things you learned there?
Yeah, those were definitely an eye-opener for me going from amateur races, because I mean, when you're in an amateur race, I never raced A-class on the amateur level, but like B-class races, if you get like a good start, you could put down a few fast laps early and like kind of just like ride the race how you want to and not have to like push really hard. But dude, when you get out there with those pro guys, it's gnarly. Like the intensity level is just crazy. Like I remember first moto at Budds Creek, I was in like 17th or something, and I have Mumford in front of me and then Levi's behind me. I'm in 17th and I'm battling the guy who just won a moto at Unadilla.
Yeah.
And he's like all over me, and I'm like, what is going on? Like it's hard to be able to like look at these guys' jerseys and be like, okay, I need to pass this guy when you've been like watching him on TV for like so long. So it's like kind of it was a mental, like you have to get over that and just, you know, think that we're all out here racing and just pass whoever's in front of you. You can't look at the name and their resume. So it was a learning experience for that. Just yeah, I guess progressing and learning what it takes and that intensity level. And I felt a lot better at Ironman. In that second moto, I was running like 15th, 14th or something, which is still mediocre, I guess, but before crashing out of it, which was kind of dumb. But I don't want to make any excuses for myself, but I was dealing with that shoulder from Loretta's, and it wasn't good. So it was like, I mean, I'm not going to say it was a mistake to run those last two because I learned a lot, but I just didn't get the best results and wasn't really happy with them. But, you know, it is what it is, and now I'm feeling a lot better and healthier and ready to mix it up with them again.
Well, for you, you got to race Supercross Futures already, so you kind of have like a bit of a base knowledge with that and have been in stadiums, so the nerves, I guess, maybe would be a little bit less, whereas like someone like Guillaume, your teammate, is kind of going in straight. I guess talk about the fact that, you know, you do have that experience behind you and you know what the atmosphere is like in a stadium, so you're going to be ready based on that.
Right, I had those 5 Futures races last year, so racing under the lights, you know, in front of the fans, it's definitely a different experience. I remember walking out of the tunnel at Anaheim last year, just looking around, and you're like, wow, this is this is it. Like, we've made it. I used to be up in those stands watching, and now you're down on the floor racing. So it definitely calms the nerves a little bit, takes a little pressure off, definitely having a little more experience in that area, and I guess I'll get even a little more before pro racing. So.
And then lastly, amateur scene is quite a bit different because you guys have like your 5 majors that you do, and now there's some combines and futures that add into it a little bit. But once you're pro, it's like a real marathon of a season, so many races back to back. Have you kind of thought about the processes that you're going to go through this year to make sure that you're not, you know, getting too ahead of yourself and getting worn down with stuff?
Right, it's definitely a different approach. You know, we have these amateur races, we'll train super hard for like a couple months before, and then you race, and you take a month off, and then you train hard, and then you race, take a month off. But yeah, the pros are completely different. It's a long season, and there's never really any breaks. So yeah, it's going to be an adjustment, but I'm ready for what it brings.